So now, so the hip hop you grew up with was really Biggie and like more of the real gangsta stuff.
Yeah, that's when I was coming of age, like with the Biggies and the Mobb Deeps, and you know what I mean. Like,
did you want to be a rapper or a comedian?
I always wanted to be a comedian. It's funny.
Yeah?
Like, ever since I saw Delirious at 9 years old.
One of the best things.
Yeah, and then me and my homeboy. Yeah, it still holds up. But I think that's better than Raw. Raw, I don't think it holds up.
See, my generation had Richard Pryor, and it was George Carlin at Carnegie Hall. Sam Kinison's first special, which was unbelievable, but I was older back then. But Richard Pryor Live, the first one where he's got like the red 70s shirt
he's sweating it out.
Oh,
killing them rings.
That's as good as a stand-up comedian gets.
Yeah,
and by then, see, that's the point. By then, he's 40 years old.
Yeah.
Okay? And he's doing bits about being on coke on New Year's Eve in Hollywood and shooting out the tires of his wife's Eldorado.
Exactly.
He had gone through all. He was my hero because he turned all that pain into funny stuff, into comedy. You know.
Yeah.
That's why I can't get into like Dane Cook and Wayne Brady. You know what I mean? It's like there's no.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even know Wayne Brady did stand-up. But I'm with Richard Pryor. I wasn't a big Richard Pryor fan until I started doing stand-up.
Yeah.
Just for the fact that I grew up on Eddie. And you could see how much of an influence he was on Eddie, but when I heard him, I was like, yo, who's this old dude sounding like Eddie?
Right, well, Eddie...
you know what I mean?
Well, that's, you know what aggravates me is like when people hear the song by Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby, and then they hear the song by Queen and David Bowie and think Queen and David Bowie stole it from
Vanilla Ice. Yeah, which I knew. I mean, I knew it.
Makes you want to strangle somebody.
I could dig it.
But the Eddie Murphy outright stole. I love Eddie Murphy. He outright stole bits. The bit he does about the kids in the Amityville Horror. Like, you know, black guys in the Amityville Horror House. Like, you know, the wall saying, get out while we're going to get out.
We got to get there.
Richard Pryor did the exact same thing about The Exorcist. The exact same thing. Only with a different. Listen, they're both wonderful and, you know, fine.
Yeah, nah, they both be. I didn't, like, when I started doing stand-up is when I really appreciated Pryor, just for the fact that he was so vulnerable on stage. He could talk about anything and make it funny.
What you just said, he was not afraid to fail.
Yeah.
There's recordings. He put out albums where he's kind of bombing for a little while.
Yeah.
In a small club, and you hear the glasses in the club clanking. You hear people taking a drag off the cigarette. Live and smoking.
You see people walking about it.
Live and smoking. It's so ballsy.
Yeah.
He's bombing.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to watch as a comic. Like,
But
yeah, go ahead.
But so now, what are your plugs? We appreciate you coming by. What are you plugging?
Thanks for having me. On the comedy tip, I'm at Littlefield.
On the comedy tip?
Yeah, doing comedy, stand-up.
Right, yeah.
I'm at Littlefield in Brooklyn on Monday. I'm at Stand Up New York on Wednesday.
Great club.
I'm on Guy Code on MTV2.
I heard that's great. You and my buddy Chris DeStefano.
That's my man. We just chopped it up right before I got here. That's my dude.
You talked to him. Chopped it up.
We had a phone call.
Right, they're chopping it up in the kitchen as well.
You chopped it up. You talked to him. Yeah.
Exactly.
The twins are chopping it up.
We did that, and then that's every Tuesday, 11 p.m. on MTV2.
That's a good show. Good for you.
And then if they wanna follow me on Twitter, I'm at D-Lemon Comedy.
At D-Lemon Comedy.
Yep, all one with D-Lemon
Now, if I want to follow Gutter on Twitter, how do I do that?
I think you gotta go like there's like I think there's like a sodomizers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow, I could just stay in my same domain. Then.
There you go. There you go.
Now, if you want, thanks. I hate to ask you to leave, but I got to chop it up more with Ben.
No doubt, it's all good.
Damien, you're a funny guy. Please come back.
I appreciate it.
Your manager is one of my first representatives in the business, Conan Smith.
No doubt.
Give a shout out to Conan.
Shout out to Conan Smith. Now he's definitely 100. He's official.
A good man. Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good job, Damien. Come back and join us.
No
again.
doubt. Thanks, me.
The great Damien Lemon.
All right.
We'll be back with more on the Artie Lange Show.